All right. So I know most of you probably aren't going to show up to this, but I hope someone does soon because I have no questions that I already have prepared. So if you have a question, let me know. They do disappear, so if I don't ask your question, it's because it disappeared on the screen before I had a chance. I'm trying to find a way to pull up both. But I see there's only one person on. I don't know what to talk about, guys. I need some questions. So, hey Mark, how are you? Or I'll just talk to you. If you want to hang out here, we'll talk for 10 minutes. Hi Nicholas. Does anyone, if you guys got questions, let me know. Hi Brian. We'll get to it, and I'm sure you guys already know about today's game. All right. Kershaw, first thing. All right. He had his rehab start yesterday. They said it went well, but they do expect him to do one more. After that, they don't know what's going to happen. It will probably be back on the team. It doesn't look like they're having, sorry, these questions are disappearing so fast. I'm trying to find a way to bring up the live stream so I can save them on my end. He looks good, no injuries, didn't have a problem. So I think he's only having one more start in OKC, and then it kind of sounds like if that goes as planned, they'll have him back, and we'll go from there. Hopefully he's doing well. We don't need him. We need him to come back though, because we need some guys to get out of the bullpen. And that next question that I had saw right after, I think it was clickbaits, was about Kimbrel. I wish they would have signed Kimbrel much earlier. I kind of wanted him before all of this had happened, before the season started. I don't even care how much money he wants at this point. If they sign him to a one-year deal, you give him what he wants. Because I want to win a World Series. I don't care about the money. I would, at least for me, I would be willing to spend an extra $5 on tickets, whatever it is, if that means bringing him in and winning a World Series. So I think they should have. I don't really know if it'll happen now because Stripling and Urias will be going, like I said, they'll be going to the bullpen once Hill and Kershaw are back. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what they do. But hopefully Brock Stewart and Yimi Garcia are on a plane very quickly back to OKC and do not come back this year. Well, actually, Yimi Garcia can't go back to OKC. He has to be DFA'd. So if we can get rid of him, I would be happy with that. And same thing with Brock Stewart. I don't want to see them up there anymore. Questions about Hill. He is throwing, I believe, off the mound tomorrow, a bullpen session. They haven't really had him throwing off a mound at any point this yet because I think it's his landing knee, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, but they haven't had him going off. He's been throwing from flat ground, says everything's going well, but it kind of still sounds like the fact that he hasn't even thrown off a bullpen or a mound yet makes me think that it's still going to be a couple weeks before we see him again, unfortunately. And again, my same reasoning with him. I want him back because I want Stripling and Urias to take over the bullpen because the bullpen needs to be fixed. Joe Kelly isn't going anywhere. They signed him to a 3-year contract. He's making good money, so they're not going to get rid of him. So if we're going to have him struggling in there, we don't need Garcia and Stewart struggling in there as well. So I don't know. The bullpen is, I hate blaming the bullpen because it's really just Stewart and Garcia and Kelly, but he got his first out of the guy he faced today. So it was a start until he got hurt. But yeah, that's kind of it right now for that. Let me see. Oh, all messages, live chat. Maybe that'll work. Oh, there we go. All right, I pulled up all the questions. All right. Unfortunately, I think the Dodgers might tolerate Stewart and Baez longer than we want them to because at the end of the day, I'm a fan just like everybody else. My opinion is just as important to the team as you guys, are just as important to the team as your guys' opinion is. So I do think the FO knows what they're doing. I do think they have done really well with this team. Before they came in, we have to remember the Dodgers hadn't been to a World Series in 29 years. So they know what they're doing, but I worry that they're afraid to let Garcia go because then they DFA him, which means another team could pick him up and they don't really get much for that. So I think they're a little bit worried about that because he was so good in spring training. However, I also think that Stewart has options, and there's absolutely no reason he should be up here. As bad as he is performing, I actually would prefer to just give Santana a chance, bring up JT Chargois. I don't even care at this point. They need to do something. That's all I can say. I don't know what it is. Santana struggled in spring training, so I don't know how that will go. But I'm willing to take the chance at this point. Do I think Jock should be given more opportunities to play against left-handed pitching? This one's hard for me. He has been very bad his entire career against lefties. However, I do understand, though, that he's not going to get better unless he faces them. But it is Clayton Kershaw. I saw him out there the other day against Kershaw, and he just looked terrible on the mound. I do want to see him get his chance. I do want him to do whatever. I mean, he's killing it right now. So yes, I think he should get a couple chances because Taylor's been not good. So I do think he should get a couple chances, have kind of make it work, see what he does, especially when the rest of the offense is hitting as much as they are. There's no reason to maybe not throw him in there for 2 or 3 games. If he struggles, pull him. Don't let him hit against lefties again. Maybe try again in a couple weeks. See if what the issue is he can adjust to. I don't know what it is that's going on with him, why he can't. The platoon thing is so weird to me that players suck so much against a certain handed pitcher, because if you look back even 5-6 years ago, teams weren't doing this. Guys weren't, to my knowledge, they weren't sucking this bad. But then again, pitchers have gotten better with time. But honestly, I want to see Verdugo out there. I don't want to see Chris Taylor play. Verdugo hits left-handers really well. I want to see him out there more until he has a reason to not be out there. I don't care if it's to share time with Jock. I don't want to pull Jock from the lineup. I don't want to move Bellinger and take Muncy out of the lineup. We saw what he's still capable of today. But I am kind of overseeing Taylor in the lineup. So that would be a good way to keep Jock and Verdugo getting at bats. Which I think is kind of the way to do it right now, honestly. Let me see. Who would I trade for? So this is a hard one for me because I don't do a good job of paying attention to other teams. And right now, I don't know how well anyone is doing. If they're trading for the bullpen, I certainly don't think I would make a trade right now because you just don't know. There's other teams. Their relievers could go out and have pitched in 3 games, and they could be looking great, and it could just be the start of the season. But you also have to remember that the earlier the Dodgers want to trade, the more a team is going to be asking for, because no team is out of playoff contention. And if you're going to try and take a player from them, you better be giving them, you better be giving them something good if you want that. I mean, so I don't think I can tell you right now, they need to trade for bullpen eventually, unless everything falls into place with Urias and Stripling in there. I don't feel the need for any offensive guys or starting pitching. I don't like the idea of Keuchel. I don't like the idea of Kluber. I don't want anybody touching our starting pitching. But as for the bullpen, I think they need to do something about that. And whether that's make a trade or get somebody out of there, it needs to be done quickly. Every game matters. We learned that last year with game 163. So I don't want to be put in that position again because they gave Yimi Garcia or Brock Stewart one more appearance than they deserved. Do I think Cody will be able to keep this up for the whole season? No. And that's nothing against Cody. That's just those expectations for him. That's insane. No player has ever done what he's like keeping up at that pace. There's never been a player in history that has been able to do that. I still think he will be a great hitter. He could still put up a 35-40 home run season. That much I don't doubt, but I don't think we can expect this to continue happening. I don't know what he's fixed in his swing, why all of a sudden he's crushing everything that comes his direction, left-handed, right-handed, doesn't matter. But eventually pitchers are probably going to figure that out. And that doesn't mean he's going to all of a sudden fall off. It just means he's probably not going to have as much success, which isn't a bad thing because the success he's having right now is, I mean, nobody ever thought this would happen. So even if he comes down a little bit, I still think he's going to have an incredible season if he even keeps up half of what he's doing. He's leading the league in home run, leading the league in RBIs. So he's putting up an MVP season. I know it's only 8 games in, and that's not enough to judge it, but the way he's swinging the bat and the way he looks at the plate, we could have ourselves a MVP this year, which would be pretty great. Although I did pick Corey Seager for MVP, so I would rather Bellinger win than anything, but I'd like Seager to win too because I put money on that. But no, I don't think signing Kelly was a mistake. I wanted Kelly on the team. I understand the reason why everybody may not like them right now or like him right now. He sucks right now. That's real. There's no way around it. There's no nice way to say it. If you look last year with Boston, same thing, terrible during the regular season, but in the postseason, he was pretty much the best pitcher out there. For me, I'm not concerned that we're making the playoffs. I feel like that is almost a guarantee. That sounds super spoiled, but it's, I mean, at this point as Dodger fans, when you go 6 years in a row and nobody in the division is really strong competition when you put lineups side by side, if he struggles during the regular season, but he does what he did for the Red Sox in October, I don't care what he does in the regular season. If he can go out there and pitch 12 innings, whatever it was, and not give up a run, there isn't going to be one fan that's going to care or remember what he did in the regular season. And I think he's capable of turning it around. He's had too kind of good of a career in a way, maybe not as a relief pitcher, but he's a good pitcher. I just think we need to give it time. It's a new season. So hate him if you want to, but I'm going to give him a little bit more time before I get a little bit upset. 100%, I think we're better than Philadelphia and Milwaukee. I don't think there's any NL team that, they come close, don't get me wrong, but I don't think if you put lineup side by side on paper, I honestly don't think there's a team in the National League that can stop us. Milwaukee was really the only competition last year. It seems like they're still going to have a really good team, but I don't think they can expect the same production as last year. Philadelphia, I'm not concerned about because their team is very young, and I also don't, I think Bryce Harper is important, but I don't think adding him all of a sudden makes the Phillies this huge kind of all of a sudden contender out of nowhere. So I think can handle the Phillies. Harper never does good against us, especially in LA, so I'm not concerned about either of those teams. Obviously, anything can change, but right now, I would 100% put us as the best team in the National League, and that's me attempting to put my bias aside as a Dodger fan. Thank you for the comment, Jordan. How was it watching Manny Machado as a Dodger, diehard Orioles fan, and I was able to watch him through the minors? I liked him. A lot of fans didn't. I really liked having Machado on the team. I was okay with him playing the villain. The things he did were questionable, don't get me wrong. I'm not excusing them. You shouldn't be grabbing someone's leg when you're breaking up a double play. You shouldn't be stepping on someone's leg or dragging your foot. But baseball used to be a lot more like that. Baseball used to be a dirty sport. You look at the slide like Chase Utley back in the Mets. There's not Dodger fans upset about that. But if we were on the other side about that, we would be pissed. But it's how baseball was. It was a dirty slide, but without that slide, we don't win that playoff game. And I think without Manny Machado, we don't make the playoffs. We were not in a good place until we got him, and I enjoyed watching him. I wanted him back, but I did not want that to affect Seager at all, so it's better he did not come back. But I do like him. I think he has a very strong personality, but he's there for his team, and he wants to win, even if people don't think he does, because that whole hustling thing, he shows it in other ways. But that's my opinion on it. But I don't want him to do well now that he's on the Padres, because the Padres have a very good farm system, and I don't want them to come take over the NL West in the next year or two. Which jersey should you get? That's a lot of pressure on me. My suggestion whenever buying a jersey is to buy a young guy that the team is refusing to trade, which in my mind is Bueller, Bellinger, Seager, Urias, and that kind of might be it right now. Turner's is going to be on his last year of the contract next year. Pollock, we've got him for a few years, so that actually wouldn't be a bad one either. I can't imagine they trade him in the next year or whatever it may be. I actually got his jersey. I got Joe Kelly's jersey because same thing, he's going to be here for a while. Kershaw will be here for a while. That's kind of my rule of thumb. Get someone that you know isn't going anywhere anytime soon, because it sucks spending a lot of money on jerseys. But you guys know, I've said it, this is just, I'm not trying to plug anything, but if you are buying a jersey, I do have the links in my videos for that one company that's cheaper if you don't want the $300 ones. Whoa, a lot of comments there. One second. Joe Jelly, I like it. Which NL West team will give us the most headache this year? If you mean headache by which team is going to play us the hardest, then I would say yes, the Giants. I don't know why. For some reason, we struggle against them. It just seems like it's the rivalry. Everything's more intense with them. If you mean who's going to be the most headache, as in maybe give us a run for our money, based off how things are going right now, maybe the Padres, but I don't see that holding up very long. And I don't see the Rockies doing what they did last year. A lot of their guys had career years last year, and I really don't think the Rockies are going to do anything like they did last year, and I think the Dodgers are going to win quite a few games. Since before the season started, my guess was about 97, 98 wins. That's very high. It's a lot, but I have a lot of confidence in our team, and our division isn't very good when you look at it. So I don't expect them. Yeah, exactly. We did lose to a lot of teams under 500 last year, like the Reds and the Marlins. So beating the Diamondbacks, winning that series against the Diamondbacks, and winning the series against the Giants was a great start, because last year we lost to teams like that all the time. No. Yeah. Sounds like the Bellinger jersey is what you're going for in the comments. Sounds like everyone else is making the decision for you. And if we win 100 games, I would be stoked. And I don't necessarily put it outside of the possibility, but I also am not going to hold them to that expectation, because that's a lot. Whoa, why aren't you loading on this screen? What the hell? Okay. How good will the Red Sox do now that their bullpen has collapsed? They're still a great team. Yeah, the Red Sox are still a really good team. However, the Yankees did a lot of work this season to make their bullpen better. Red Sox are off to a rough start, but it's not going to, I mean, we were off to a rough start last year too, so I don't think that'll hold them back. But I think it's going to be very difficult for them with the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees were a 100-win team. They had 200-win teams in the division, and I just don't think they'll be as good as they were last year, because almost nobody in baseball history has been as good as they were last year. So I think the Yankees are going to take that from them, and even the Tampa Bay Rays are looking pretty good right now in that division. So Red Sox may not even pull out with a wild card. Just depends. The AL is a much weaker league, in my opinion. The NL has a lot more competition across. That's why a lot of teams, that's why you didn't see 100, 200-win teams in one division in the National League, because there isn't enough crappy teams in the National Leagues for anyone to rack up 100 wins. So I think they'll get there. But I don't know. I think it might be the Yankees this year. Not saying they'll win the World Series, but they might beat out the Red Sox. We'll probably end up facing the Yankees in the World Series if we make it, and obviously if they make it. But it'll be interesting. Whoa, these are coming in so fast. Are you going to be at the Dodger game this Saturday against the Brewers? Yes, it's a home game. I don't know when I'll be missing a home game, honestly. The plan is to not go to all of them, but it's very hard. I haven't missed a game since Game 2 of the 2017 World Series, so it's very difficult to think about missing one, but I will for sure be there this weekend against the Brewers. So let me know. You can send me a DM. It's easier if you do it on Instagram or Twitter because I get the notifications for that easier. And just let me know you're there and we can meet up. My favorite number is number 20. That's the one I have on the back of my custom jersey. It's just a family number. My dad, my uncles, my brother, my cousins, we all wore it when we played sports. So that's my favorite number. But other than that, we've done this for about 20 minutes. That's kind of my goal with this. I'll do it again next Friday. Next Friday, the Dodgers are home, so I will do it while I'm at the stadium. I'm going to look to do it around, if the game, I'll be in the stadium about 4:10. So I'll look to do it around 4:25, 4:30. Hopefully you guys can check it out. I appreciate talking with you guys. And let's go Dodgers and hopefully get this win tomorrow because I don't want to lose any games right now. We're looking too good, and I'm a little bit nervous about the Cardinals and the Brewers in the next week. And yes, I will, of course, be at the All-Star game. That's why I kept my season tickets, because I need to be there. So that'll be fun next year. But I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.